Big story of the day. You see the countdown on the screen right there. The most powerful rocket ever built will send the Orion spacecraft further than any other vehicle designed for people. For the Artemis I mission today, there will just be mannequins on board, but if it's successful, NASA hopes the first woman and the first person of color will walk on the moon in 3 years.
Really is exciting stuff. Fox 4's Forrest Saunders is in Cape Canaveral right now, where people are gathering to watch the launch.
They came from all over. An estimated 240,000 staking out their spots well in advance of Monday's liftoff.
There's going to be a lot of people here, so in order to get a good spot, we needed to get here early.
Many here for a shot at seeing history.
It's a shooting star.
The Vose family coming from Fort Myers, waiting for the 10 count.
That goes in this to make it launch.
Hoping their son Douglas will witness the next generation of space flights take flight.
When he's 10, 15, 20 years old from now, and he's looking back on this, he sees that I was there. My parents took me to this.
The SLS rocket is the world's most powerful, built to eventually return to the moon and beyond. This trip just a test, a more than 40-day flight around the moon and back.
Bottom line is we look really good. No issues, no concerns or constraints.
NASA officials told us Sunday morning everything's still a go, despite recent lightning strikes near the pad. Weather does remain the biggest concern. Bolts, wind, even rain alone can scrub the launch, but the latest predictions from officials give it an 80 to 60% chance of success.
Hopefully Florida comes through and we have clear mornings and stormy afternoons, and this is going up in the morning, so fingers crossed.
Many fingers are crossed up and down the Space Coast as the nation waits for ignition. At the Capitol, I'm Forrest Saunders, Fox 4.
Well, as you see with the countdown, the window for liftoff starts in a little more than 2 hours now at Kennedy Space Center. Fox 4's Alexandra Rangel is also tracking the launch for us this morning. And Alexandra, when you look at the big picture here, what happens today is just the first step in NASA's goal for the future.
Yeah, the Artemis I is just the first step. Here we go. The Artemis I mission is just the beginning for what's to come. The unmanned Orion spacecraft will journey around the moon for 42 days. And if this test flight goes as planned, in just 2 years, we could see the first woman and first person of color to go to the moon. The rocket will launch from Pad 39B at Kennedy Space Center. It signifies first use of NASA's Space Launch System, SLS. That is, the rocket will carry the Orion crew capsule. The SLS is the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. While no astronauts will be on board, 3 mannequins will make the trip as a way for scientists to observe how the rocket's thrust and the trip may take toll on the human body. Astronauts have not made this journey since 1972 during the Apollo 17 mission. Fox 4 spoke to NASA Orion Crew Survival Systems Project Manager Dustin Gomer about the anticipation ahead of this morning's launch.
And it allows us to go beyond collecting lunar samples, but to learn to live in these environments, to utilize the resources that are available on the moon, to be able to expand our presence even beyond the moon to Mars, and honestly, one day maybe beyond that. It'll be a series of stepping stones, but this is the first of very many important ones.
The first of many indeed. If the flight goes well, NASA will send astronauts aboard Artemis II in 2024 for a flight around the moon. Here in studio, we're closely watching NASA's live feeds to see this historical rocket launch that should take off in about a little over 2 hours. You can see there on your screen. But for now, live in studio, Alexandra Rangel, Fox 4.
And right now we continue to watch the launch pad there, and for me, a little nervously here, as we have about 15 miles separating the Cape with a couple of showers off to the north. The 45th Space Squadron still has a 80% go at the beginning of that window at 8:33, and by the time the 2-hour window winds down, it'll go from 80 to a 60% chance. As the more daylight we get there, the better chance we have of a few thunderstorms out over the open water.